He's so happy to be an agent.
He's like, yes, I'm doing it. I'm finally doing it. I knew my time was going to come one day.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like my time is here.
This is me. Waste time.
Unorthodox reactions. Unorthodox intro. Welcome back, guys, to another unorthodox reaction. Do you mind?
Sorry.
Welcome back, guys, to another unorthodox reactions. Today we've got for you a movie recap. A housewife's past. The North Korean spy comes to light in her plane.
Sounds interesting. Let's get into it. My item of the day is. Oh, you missed it. Unlucky. Video started.
Let's get right into it.
Welcome back to Movie Recaps. Today I will show you an action comedy film from 2020 titled Okay Madam. Spoilers ahead.
Okay.
Watch out and take care. In 2009 in Mongolia, two agents from the North Korean Special Forces, Magnolia and Chol-sung, are breaking into a hotel filled with enemy agents to steal some.
I'm calling it now. One of the leaders of the hijack gonna end up being her partner.
His partner or her partner?
Her partner.
Nice.
Her ex-partner.
Yeah, because there's no other reason why she would show it. They would show us exposition.
Intel.
No, like he normally does this anyway, but I'm just
not him. I'm saying like there's no reason why the movie would show us this if it wasn't relevant.
While Chol-sung covers her back, Magnolia searches the room, only to be interrupted by a call from her father telling her to get out of there because some men are after her and she can't trust anybody. But before he can say more, he's shot by an intruder. Chol-sung finishes taking care of all the enemies and goes looking for his partner, but when Magnolia sees him, she remembers her father's words and shoots him before escaping through the window. Years pass and it's now 2020 in Seoul, South Korea. Mi-young wakes up early to open her Twisted Donut store and sells it all fairly quickly, allowing her to close the shop in good time to visit her husband Sung-woong. He's a computer repairman working in his own shop while drinking tons of juice. He's bought a bunch of little bottles because there are special prizes on the caps. When Mi-young notices this, she scolds him for having wasted so much money, although she does like the sound of getting a new laundry machine. While Sung-woong helps his latest client, Mi-young decides to have some juice as well and is shocked to find a surprise under the cap. The first prize, a trip to Hawaii. At first, the couple celebrates their luck, but their mood changes.
The guy's
when
just
they
like,
return home.
I don't know.
Mi-young has decided they aren't going because they can't afford to spend money on a vacation and close their shops for a whole week. Instead, she'd rather sell the cap on the internet and use the money.
Trip? Isn't it a free trip?
Yeah, but this still means they lose money because they.
Oh yeah, they lose money because they won't be able
business.
to work. Yeah, they won't be able to work. Yeah.
To buy a new laundry machine. The other person in a bad mood is their daughter Na-ri, who arrives at home as Mi-young receives a text with bad news. Na-ri has hurt a fellow student again. She gets yelled at and spanked for it, causing her to cry and confess she's tired of being made fun of for being the only kid in class that doesn't have a phone or goes on vacation. Hearing this makes Mi-young feel very bad.
Well, so go on vacation, they make fun of you.
I mean, kids make fun of you for a lot of stuff.
Sheesh. I beg someone make fun of me for not going on vacation. I'd have
You
laughed
probably
at
would
them.
have if you were when you were in primary school.
I would have laughed. Okay.
Would you though? I feel like you can say that now with your mindset now, but as a kid, with your mindset as a kid.
No, 110. You know, my mom told me not to, like, you know how people get proper defensive if you cuss their mom? My mom was like, don't defend me. I didn't think you're too cool. People would cuss the hell out of my mom. I would join in.
I remember my mom was like, is it like, if they're cussing me, is it true?
Yeah.
No.
Do they know
why
me?
you get angry on my mom?
Like, dude, what? I did not give a damn what people said about me, bro.
Nah, because I'm like, even still though, like, even if they just them mentioning that, like, oh, you don't go on vacation, I feel like you still feel a certain thing of like you feel bad or you feel left out. I know I probably would have. I feel like I probably would. I wouldn't. I would have just like dismissed it, but I know I would have felt it.
Not my childhood. No.
She has a talk with Sung-woong and accepts to go to Hawaii so their daughter can have something nice in her life.
I don't think I would have cared anyway because I don't go anyway.
He accidentally kicks the old laundry machine and makes it work again. The next day, the three of them get their passports done.
They're all wearing the
A
same.
mysterious woman that also has a passport and a plane ticket ready receives a call that tells her it's time for her to get moving. In another part of the city, Chol-sung also gets a call telling him Magnolia has resurfaced after 10 years and that she'll be going to Hawaii soon. His orders are to capture her alive. When the day of the trip finally comes,
Look here, I would rather just watch this movie. Not even gonna lie.
Fact.
I would actually. It sounds like a decent movie to watch.
It does, but it's a Korean movie, so you're gonna have to watch it with subtitles.
Yeah,
I feel like
let's
it
do
takes
that.
away from it, like if you watch it
Yeah,
with subtitles
true.
sometimes. Like not all movies, but I feel like some
I'm so
movies take away
annoyed, man. I really want to watch it now. Play the video, man.
Mi-young still decides to work. That way she can take some extra money with her. They take the airport shuttle instead of a taxi, so they arrive late at the airport where other passengers for the same trip are gathering. Chol-sung, the mysterious woman who is keeping her face hidden, and Special Agent Kim Haram and his gang, who are here to capture Magnolia too. Luckily for the family, they arrive right before the gate closes, so they are allowed to board. Not only that, but since there are 2 remaining business class seats, the clerk upgrades their tickets for free.
What?
Mi-young and Nari take the business class seats while Sung-woong stays in economy. The plane is filled with interesting people like Steward Hyun-min, who thinks keeping an eye out for suspicious behavior and keeping an eye on everyone's safety is part of the steward mission. Congressman Jang Pil-jun, and a nervous man that is flying because his boss has sent him, so he takes a bunch of pills to keep his fear under control.
Dang, I love pills.
The enemy agents begin walking around the plane to see if they can find Magnolia. The mysterious woman notices this and goes to hide in the bathroom while Hyun-min brings some snacks for Mi-young.
But she's defended them.
He accidentally drops the nuts when he's about to serve them, but Mi-young catches them all by using outstanding reflexes.
What?
This makes when he's about
Talk about baiting yourself out. What kind of nonsense was that, mate? Nah, I thought I was
just say yeah, like a special skill.
But this movie is tweaking.
I mean,
dude, that's like
it's reflexing it. Like she's like,
she caught every single one.
Bro, you're telling me if you were on a this guy.
Did I break it?
No.
Oh my god, I thought I died. I died. I tried to do what she did. No, it is, bro.
No, but I'm saying you're telling me. I don't know what happened to. I don't know what you want me to do, but freak it out.
Is it, bro?
I don't know.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, carry on. Sorry, yeah.
But I'm saying that you're telling me if you were looking forward to a snack and they just threw it up in the air and you had the skills to catch it, the snack you've been dreaming about eating,
dude,
on your first vacation and you're playing in ages.
Like, dude, you can't catch it like that, bro. She did this.
Yeah, water flow, bro.
Dude, what?
Accidentally drops the nuts when
look at her. Bow, 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 bow.
Catches them all by using outstanding reflexes. This makes Hyun-min think she may be a spy or a national security agent. Meanwhile, Sok-hwan befriends fellow passenger Book Kyuk-sung, who is traveling alone to visit his daughter and granddaughter, even carrying a teddy bear with him to gift them later. Back in business, Mi-young is having stomach cramps, so she goes looking for a bathroom after finding her husband and telling him to keep an eye on their daughter. The first restroom is taken by the mysterious woman, so Mi-young goes farther into the plane to look for another stall and comes across the special agents, who haven't been able to find Magnolia and pretend they're waiting in line when they see Mi-young coming. While she finally finds an empty stall, Haram goes to talk to Chol-sung, telling him they can't find Magnolia but they haven't checked the business class yet because they don't have access to it. Chol-sung thinks they can't wait anymore, so he gives orders to start the operation.
Oh, so they're looking for this mysterious woman.
Yeah,
not that girl.
He tries to tell the other steward. She doesn't believe him because he's always playing one of the men receiving such orders. But when he tries to tell the other steward, she doesn't believe him because he's always playing pretend to be a spy. The enemy agents hijack the plane then. Chol-sung takes a steward as a hostage and goes to see the captain to make him change the destination of the plane. Meanwhile, his men search the plane so they can put every passenger to...
That's actually my worst fear, you know. There's nothing you can do in the air. Yeah, there's absolutely, you actually have no, like...
But as long as they're like not looking for me, I'm chilling. I'm just like,
everyone is dead, bro. You know that, right?
There's nothing you can do. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're actually done.
You're just there. Like, I'm just like, I'm in the air. I'm not a pilot. I can't do. I've absolutely nothing I can do. So there's absolutely no. Even if I worried about it, like, there's nothing for me to do.
No chance.
But just enjoy my last moment. Like,
they say, no, we're gonna land this plane. Don't worry, guys.
Because I'm like, yeah, there's like, but I feel like the worst would be if they hijacked and then they ended up like taking you captive and you know, taking you back to base or something. I'm I would actually prefer you just kind of, you know, just just
just ended it there.
I don't want to be taken captive, bro. I'm good.
That's long. They would do some crazy stuff to you. Yeah, that's long.
Together in the same sector. The clumsiest one of the gang is in charge of checking the bathrooms and misses Mi-young because she doesn't answer when he knocks. Next he checks a room at the back and ends up locked inside when the plane does a sudden turn and pushes a cart in front of the door.
What kind of idiot is this?
Pil-jun believes they're here for him because he's an important politician, but the agents don't care and send him to sit with the rest of the economy.
We don't care about you.
The South Korean National Security Service receives the news of the hijacking, but for now they stay calm because there's an agent on board. Unfortunately, that agent is the nervous man. He's taken so many pills that he's fallen deeply asleep and won't wake up.
He's out.
So the agents just drag him with the others as if he was a doll. Chol-sung notices the mysterious woman in the crowd.
Wait, he was meant to be the guy that if
it was the air marshal.
He was like, yo, I got this.
He was the air marshal.
Y'all stay still.
Like,
I got this.
This must have been his first flight.
Didn't he tell them I'm nervous on planes?
Would you? No, I don't think he was nervous on plane. I think he was nervous because this is like his first job as being.
So what he just said, you know what? Instead, I'm gonna pass out, and if I don't wake up, then I don't wake up.
But I don't even know if he was. I mean, if he was the air marshal, because I don't think he would have taken. I think he was like meant to be like going somewhere else to do a job. And then obviously, he ended up being caught up in this. Like, oh, we already got an agent on board.
Yeah.
And makes her uncover her face only to discover she isn't Magnolia. She's on Sarah.
Who the frick is this? Oh, I was like, why has she been hiding?
In the meantime, she's on Sarah, a famous actress that is trying to travel without getting any attention. In the meantime,
I think go from crying to like taking
crazy
plot twist is being hijacked. Magnolia defected North Korea and came to the South pretending to be Chinese and has been categorized as a person of interest since then. There's one detail they overlooked though.
It was her that they're looking for.
Change her appearance and start a new life with a new name and face. It turns out, Magnolia is now Young. When one of the men hears her in the bathroom, he tries to capture her, but her fighting instincts kick in and she quickly knocks him out. While wondering what to do next, she hears Chol-sung's voice on the speakers asking for Magnolia to reveal herself. So Young begins remembering how her life quickly changed over 10 years ago, shooting Chol-sung and escaping, meeting Suk-hwan and having their daughter. She doesn't want to lose her family, so she decides it's time for her to fight again. While she sneaks around trying to find a good entry point to execute a plan, Suk-hwan decides he also must do something to check on his wife. After leaving his daughter with Kyuk-sung, he sneaks out of the economy sector while the men go around retrieving everyone's phones. He finds a dropped laptop and takes it with him before going down a hatch that leads to the server room. There, he connects the computer to the system and hacks his way in to gain control of the plane. Meanwhile, one of the men takes Hyun-min to the steward area, commanding him to find and give him the passenger list. Hyun-min notices Mi-young is hidden in the ceiling, so he takes extra long to find the list to buy time until Mi-young sees an opening and jumps on the agent to knock him out. Mi-young then asks for the passenger list, which Hyun-min has been hiding in his socket
good job,
to check it and burn it in the microwave. Next, she dresses up as a steward and receives Hyun-min's smartwatch for communication, since he'll be going to the back room to find the tasers they keep there. Mi-young enters the first economy area that is now empty except for one of the agents, but
he's so happy to be an agent.
He's like, yes, I'm doing it. I'm finally doing it. I knew my time was going to come one day.
I saw that.
It's like my time is here.
This is me, my show.
Isn't an issue for her and she quickly knocks him out. Afterward, she enters the sector where all the passengers are being kept, and since her daughter is there too, Mi-young takes a random person's sun visor to cover her face before beating up the agent watching over that area. Hyun-min reaches the server room and finds Suk-hwan sending messages to the National Security Service about the situation, so he tries to ambush him, but it turns out Hyun-min is a secret agent too and easily stops his attack. He's frustrated because the higher-ups don't want him to get involved since he's retired, so Hyun-min lets him know about the other agent on their side and takes out his phone to call his smartwatch. Because Hyun-min likes to play spies, the voices get distorted through his app, so Suk-hwan and Mi-young don't recognize each other.
That's funny.
The chat doesn't even last that long because Mi-young hangs up as soon as Suk-hwan begins scolding her on the proper way to deal with a situation like this. Afterward, he overrides the plane controls to put it on autopilot and fix its destination while Hyun-min finally reaches the back room and finds the teasers. He also finds the man who locked himself earlier taking a nap. Chol-sung, who has been in the cockpit keeping the captain at gunpoint, notices the change of direction and checks the security cameras. As soon as he sees Suk-hwan messing with the controls, he rushes to capture him. Meanwhile, Harem finds Mi-young and begins fighting her. He's a much better opponent than his men, so it takes Mi-young longer to knock him out, but after a couple of close calls and losing her mask, she manages to defeat him. Her victory doesn't last long though. Chol-sung shows up with Suk-hwan as his hostage and tells her her husband has always been a government agent. As shocked as she may be, this still isn't enough for her to let him get hurt, so she stops the knife Chol-sung throws at Suk-hwan, making him believe she's been under national security protection all this time. Chol-sung ties the couple up and sends them away to be locked up, which means they have to walk through the passenger area. Na-ri sees them and begins crying, so Kyuk-sung gives her the teddy bear to distract her.
Because stupid girls, or stupid kids, let's just say. No, I'm just saying, like stupid kids, you know this is true. Stupid kids would have been like, Mom, Dad, try to run to them like, why you Friggin' sit down, bro.
Yeah,
Like, you
shut your mouth.
the situation for this.
It doesn't matter if you're wearing matching outfits.
Like, they don't know that you're related. Just sit down and stay quiet.
Who's that? She's smiling. She's like, damn, he's right.
Chol-sung still notices this and comes to check on her because perhaps she could be a useful hostage too, but Na-ri lies and says On-sura is her mother. This causes a commotion around the crowd since the but
I love this kid.
We should watch this movie, bro. This is what I mean, bro. Because you guys don't understand. We be watching movies and we're just fuming. Just at the stupidity of the characters. They just make the characters so dumb for the movie plot, and we're just like,
bro, you can tell that friggin'
dumb.
Koreans do it right.
Oh my god, bro.
Says On-sura is her mother. This
obviously, this is gonna cause a commotion for her, though.
Never mentioned a child in public, and On-sura tries to deny it, but Na-ri comes closer and whispers a request for help in her ear, so On-sura accepts to lie for her sake. In the back room, Mi-young is worried that her marriage is a lie, but Seok-hwan wastes no time in telling her the full story. He used to work as agent ages ago and he was assigned to surveil her, but he's now retired. He fell in love with her the day he was following her around and accidentally got harassed by some bullies. Mi-young had saved him and shared her food with him, and Seok-hwan knew then that he didn't want this to be a job anymore. He doesn't care that she's Magnolia or that she used to kill people. All he cares about is that she's his wife and the mother to his child.
Used to kill people.
Such unconditional love makes Mi-young cry.
It was like
Back
a
to the passengers. One of them finds the knife Mi-young had saved her husband from and uses it to free people's hands, but they can't do much before one of the agents comes back in. The real surprise, however, comes when two passengers suddenly stand up and beat the agent up. These two guys are under Harem's orders, and they join their leader in the cockpit, where they kick Chol-sung and tell him they're in charge now. Unlike Chol-sung, who wants to take Mi-young back to the government officials, Harem wants to sell her to the highest offer. And while Chol-sung wanted to leave with her and let the plane do its thing, Harem wants to take her with him with the parachutes but also make the plane crash because he doesn't care about civilians' lives. Chol-sung tries to stop him, but Harem's men quickly take him down and carry him away while Harem forces the pilot to make the plane descend at a high speed. While all the passengers begin to panic, Chol-sung is taken to the back room with Mi-young and Seok-hwan. Mi-young takes the chance to question his intentions, so Chol-sung proceeds to explain his mission. His government wants him to find Mi-young and take her back because there's a group of men that need her to access the vault with the nuclear weapons her dad had made, since the lock can only be opened by her iris. She isn't sure if he can trust him after he tried to shoot her 10 years ago, but Chol-sung says that wasn't true. He was on her side and he had been backstabbed by the others like it happened here on the plane. Their talk gets interrupted by Hyun-min, who suddenly enters the room through the ceiling.
Bro, this guy's been doing bits.
Everyone is released and
did you get the tracksuit from?
Seok-hwan returns to the server room to regain control of the plane's autopilot mode and stop it from falling while Hyun-min turns off all the lights. Then, Mi-young and Chol-sung go back to the passenger area to take on Harem's men. The fights are fairly equal, but whenever the bad guys would gain the upper hand, the passengers would help our heroes by hitting the men with whatever object they could find nearby. Thanks to everyone's support, they defeat the men and capture.
See, I like this because it makes sense. It's including the audience. You know, in like the normal American movies, the audience would be standing there absolutely useless.
No,
like they've never heard of like survival in their life. They're like friggin', like the guy comes towards them like, like, bro, push him, bro. Good, but do something to him. Are you even trying to survive? What do you mean?
Harem. Now the whole family can reunite, but the trouble is far from over. Pretending to comfort her, Kyuk-sung gives Na-ri the teddy bear and grabs her as
this
hostage.
guy.
Then he shoots Chol-sung before confessing he was the man that killed Mi-young's father, and he will kill her daughter as well if she doesn't come with him. Seok-hwan tries to hurt him with one of the tasers,
bro.
But it doesn't work, so Kyuk-sung shoots him as well. Mi-young admits she has no other choice than to accept his terms, so she hugs Na-ri goodbye before putting on the parachute. Kyuk-sung forces the plane door open and gives Na-ri a signal to throw out her teddy bear. She had whispered these instructions to her when she hugged her, and now, she pushes Kyuk-sung out too as the teddy bear explodes at a good distance away from the plane, taking Kyuk-sung with it.
Explosives in it.
Thankfully, Seok-hwan is alive after all thanks to a bulletproof vest.
I knew he was wearing
Chol-sung
bulletproof vest.
before they separated to execute the plan, so the family reunites once again for good this time. Speaking of Chol-sung, he grabs the parachute and, after wishing the family to be happy and have a good life, jumps off the plane to return so the authorities can't get him when they land. All the enemy agents are tied to their seats and the National Security Service is contacted to inform them they're okay now. The pilot receives orders to return to South Korea to process what happened, but Seok-hwan can't accept this. He wants to go to Hawaii. Pil-jun doesn't approve of this idea and tries to pull rank.
Sit down, bro. You ain't done nothing this whole trip.
Taser on the floor, and while checking it out, he presses the button and accidentally knocks Pil-jun out. On-sura reminds everyone that if it wasn't for Mi-young they'd be all dead, So the captain changes his mind to grant her wish and changes the course to Hawaii.
Yeah, but they've been in the air so long. How much
feel
petrol do
like
they have to, like...
I feel like this is really a moot point because I understand they want to go to Hawaii, but all they had to do was just, call the government back and be like, all right, we're going to bring the plane back, but then you're not going to have to reimburse us for this trip and still pay for our business to be open, like if our business was open, so we can get to go on this trip to Hawaii. Because I'm like, them turning the plane around.
That's long.
No, because I'm saying them turning the plane around to go to Hawaii is kind of okay. Let's say they then turn the plane around to go to Hawaii, and then one of the enemy agents escape, and now it's like a whole thing of like now they have to recapture them, and the trip is
no. But I think
anyway.
Once they get to Hawaii, they're gonna turn straight back around.
But that's what I'm saying. But then it's like you don't know what can happen between that time and like them getting to Hawaii. Like anything can happen. So I'm like, it's better to just turn back and go back to Korea, like they said, and then they just be like, hey yo, listen. Even if it's not like the government, if the pilot was like, I'll set you up with the airline to like reimburse you for your trip so you can still go to Hawaii again or something.
Fuel is an excuse. As soon as they arrive in Hawaii, the family goes to have fun on the beach, and Sung-woong gifts Young a ring so they can renew their vows.
I'm gonna say, well, they're not married.
He's been saving money for 10 years for this trip, and the winning cap had been faked by him. Furious, Young chases him around the beach for having spent so much money while Na-ri relaxes under the sun. Meanwhile, the plane has been emptied except for one person,
sleeping.
the nervous man, who is finally waking
he
up.
He just woke up.
Missed calls and messages asking him to take care of the hijacking situation. A couple of weeks later, TV cameras show up at Young's shop. To thank her for saving the plane, she's being gifted a free trip to Disneyland. This excites Na-ri, but her parents freak out because they don't want to get on the plane.
We can't afford to go anymore.
Sure
they just don't want to get on the plane because they don't want to see
more videos like this. Thanks for watching.
Bro, this sounded like a really good movie.
Yeah. I could tell that was a good movie.
I could totally like see myself watching that. That sounds good.
Sorry guys about the. It's not because
Anyway, guys, we hope you guys enjoyed.
Thank you for checking in with us.
Like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all the good stuff. Comment, reaction, suggestions below.
Exactly. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Do you want to do?
Oh yeah. If you're still watching, we appreciate you.
Of course.
If you're no longer watching, we still appreciate you. Thank you for checking in with us, and hope you
Without
look after
further
your loved
ado.
ones and stay blessed.
In a bit.